Welcome to Hematite Homestead, the Pit Boss Laredo 1000. It'll sear, it'll braise, it'll smoke, it'll roast, it'll bake, it'll char grill, it'll barbecue, and it will grill. So let's get this thing out of the box and put it together. Okay, lay the main barrel on its side on the foam, hopper end up pointed upward. The opening in the foam for the spout hook, which allows the main barrel to sit level on the foam. So, what foam are they talking about? This one maybe? Oh my goodness, this thing's heavy. Oh my goodness, this thing's heavy. Okay, again, step one was lay the barrel on its side on the foam hopper, end pointed upward. The opening in the foam for the spout hook, which allows the main barrel to sit level on the foam. Here's what the foam looks like. I don't see a piece that looks like that, but this big chunk of foam here seems to be doing the trick. I don't know if that's the one they mean or not. They're not very clear about that. All right, mounting the front legs to the barrel, and it says list all the parts required, and they are numbered. This is the number 20 is the left front. So left front will go right here. Like so. Like so. Or does it go like so? Yeah, it goes like this. There's 3 holes here, 3 holes here. This is how it goes. Like that. Let's find the screws for this. And here's something I did to make this a little bit easier. So here's the screw pack, and I didn't want to keep flipping over to see what screw was what. So I took all the screws out and labeled them. You got screw 20, screw C, screw B, all this rocks, and screw A. So that will be a lot easier for me to get to the screws now. I read some reviews that said you need 2 people to put the legs on. I can get in the front legs okay. I can reach down there just fine. Plus I have a bit driver with a long Phillips head on it, and that helps out a little bit too. So that's the left front leg on. Next step is the right front leg, and it's the same thing. 3 number 20 screws. This is part number 22. And we will do the same thing with it. These parts are kind of in the way of a decent screwdriver, but luckily this made it a lot easier on me. So I definitely recommend getting if you have a bit driver. I was able to fit it right in there just like that. And this little groove right here, and it goes right in. This one's a little bit difficult. Stripped it out a little bit, but it'll be fine, theoretically. Next step is the front panel goes on right here. This part number 17 is not labeled, but this is clearly the part that they're talking about. And it takes screws on here and here, and on the sides it goes through the legs and a screw here. Doesn't appear to be a great fit. I'm going to put the screws in it loose and see what we got. Front panel takes 2 screws in the bottom of the main unit. There are number 20 screws, one here and one here, and I've already started those. Now we are on the back side of the front legs, and this is part number 17, the front panel. This is where the ash clean out is, and it takes a screw here, one here and here, and one here and here. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get my impact driver in here, so I'm just going to start these screws. I'm going to start them all, leave them all a little bit loose, and see where it lands at. It doesn't appear to be a great fit. All right, so where you clean the ash out, it looks like it's a little bit flexible. It wasn't lining up at all, so I'm just going to push it up there and start this screw too. Then give it a little push, get the screw hole lined up, and start her in there. All right, now almost need a little stubby screwdriver to get to these here and here. I'm going to try and use this one. All right, this is the top corner of the front plate, and I had to actually go inside and loosen up the bolts to leg number 20, the front left leg, so that I could get that to line up, and then it went just fine. So I thought that might be the case, but it turned out it was, and it was very hard to get to. A short stubby screwdriver would have been best here, but I just stuck the screwdriver down through the hole here, stuck my hand in here and worked it, which wasn't ideal, but it worked. At the bottom shelf is next. It gets 2 screw A's goes through the sides of the front legs, one here and one on the bottom, and I'll have to lift it up a little bit to get that one in the bottom because it's laying on the ground. So the instructions said to be sure the flat side is towards the top. That's probably goes without being said. I think maybe put on a piece of this foam here. Yeah, that's not greatest, but it is getting me able to put this screw in, maybe. Can't find the hole. There it is. Alright, I have already attached the back legs. Like some of the reviews that I watched about putting it together, they were correct. I could not reach in there, reach out here, line it up, and get the screws in. I had to get Kelly to help me. She lined them up, I put the screws in it, and now we're ready for casters. We're looking towards the bottom of it. This is the 2 left legs, and casters go in these 4 holes up here, and 2 different types of casters. You got one that looks like this, just 4 holes in the top and a wheel, and then one looks like this, turns the guide and has the lock on it that locks the wheel from turning. Also 4 bolt holes. The ones that look like this get installed on the side that's facing towards the ground right now. So we have this sitting on the side with the hopper at the top, and these go on the side towards the ground. So right now I will take these and install them on this side. And the casters also take screw A, and it's worth mentioning I had a screw 20 marked on my thing over there, and I'm running out of screw A's, and then I went back and looked and it was 20 count of more screw A's. So there is no screw 20, they are all screw A's, B's, and C's. So I'm ready to stand it up, and then I go back on the inside and tighten the legs. I had to loosen the legs to get everything to fit right, so I would recommend just get the screws started in those things, and don't tighten them up because you're going to have to manipulate a few things here and there to get all the screws to fit. I wouldn't even say that that's a recommendation. I think you have to do that because I had to go back and loosen up all 4 legs. All right, I'm going to stand her up. Carefully close my doors so I don't damage them. I'm going to stick my hand right here in the smokestack hole. All right, I was over there in the sun. I started off in the shade. It got really hot. Shade went away. My camera overheated. My phone overheated, and I had to put it away. So now I'm on my backup. Battery's almost dead, but I want to continue to do this. Next thing I do is to put the handle on. Handle goes in these 2 holes right here, and the handle comes in the box with everything you need. It's got what it calls a bezel, and then this is let's see what the book says it is. This is called a mica sheet. I'd say that's for heat to keep everything on the outside cool. The only thing that goes on the inside is the screws, and I will take the screws out and install this guy. This might be another good place for 2 hands. I'm having a little difficulty getting here, so I'm going to put my bolt through the hole here and put the mica sheet and the bezel on there. Whoops, there goes that. and get it started. Okay, it's working out okay with one person. So I'm just going to leave that loose and do the same thing to the other side. This is the mica sheet. It's just for heat protection and the bezel. It all comes apart when you take the mica sheet, goes on the bottom. And then the bezel, and I'll stick my bolt through that hole. Yeah, okay, so that worked out okay with one person. Okay, got my camera back. So the only thing I've done, I put the front tray on, and the front tray lifts up right there like that. And it's got, you pull these up to release it and put it back. And it had 4 A screws that go in here, here, and same thing over here, here, and here. And so I got the handle on, and the smokestack, pretty simple smokestack that sat on there, and took 4 screws there, and then the cap screwed on it. So now I'm going to put the side tray on, and it's got a couple of bolts to get you started here, or holes to get you started, slotted holes. So I'm going to put 2 screws in where these slotted holes go, and slide it on there, and then we'll put the rest in. This is the char roller, and it has these 2 slots on it here and here, and they fit in here. There's a little piece of metal in here. It's really hard for you to see. Is that a little better? Can you see it better now? Yeah, right here. And these 2 grooves, there's also another one over here on the other side. It just sits on top over there. So these 2 grooves go in there. So now it's locked in. And it's slightly sloped down, and the grease bucket is on the other side. Out grease hole here, bucket underneath, and carries the grease out of the grill. All right, and then the steer plate, it's got these 2 guides in it, and this is what locks the handle in. It will put in there. The guides go in these 2 holes. Just drop it in there, and then you got to work the handle in through the hole here. So the handle looks like this, and you go in all the way to here, and then you'll pull it in and out like this. So you put it all the way in, and you got to turn it and put it in the rest of the way. Put this where it L's facing the back of the grill, and then you just slide it in your groove here. And lock it in. And then you can unlock that when you're cleaning out your grill and take it all apart. So that's how I expect this thing to work. Pretty easy, pretty simple. All right, there is the Pit Boss Laredo 1000 assembled. The only thing I haven't done is put the cooking grates in, and I'm not going to do that until I prime the pellets. So all in all, I wouldn't say it was easy to put together, but it was manageable. If you got any experience at all at following instructions and putting stuff together, then you can get it. 2 things that I would highly recommend: to leave the legs loose. Just start the screws in those, because you're going to have to wiggle on them to get other parts, and then you go back after you're done with everything on the bottom and tighten those in the top. You will also need 2 people to get the legs in the back, because it's pretty deep in there, and you'd have to have about an 8-foot arm to reach all the way in there. So if you're putting together one of these Pit Boss Laredo 1000s, I hope you found this video useful. Coming soon, we'll do the initial burn-in and give this guy a test run this weekend. Hit that subscribe button and follow all the awesome stuff we're doing here at Hematite Homestead. And thank you very much for watching.